Welcome to Killing Time. This is the show that searches for entertainment that does not suck. My name is Aya Zakhtar. And with me, as always, is the man we call... Hey, you.
Me?
How are you? No, we don't call him me. We call you, you.
You.
How's it? Yes, you. Me call you, you. That's
okay.
right.
Hello.
Hello, okay? Everything's you. Wow, that was a cluster. We call him Bob or Rob, by the way, because that's his given name.
That's the name. Yeah, that's what I've been called.
That's what it's in, that's the name on his underwear.
That's right.
Anyway,
okay, moving on. What are we talking about today?
Today we're going to talk about why you should watch or shouldn't watch Season 6 of Orange is the New Black. This is a super late kind of argument here. And, Rob, you haven't seen Season 6?
No, and I struggled through Season 5. So I was not jumping on Season 6 when I saw that it came out.
All right, so Season 6...
You need to pull me back in if you're going to get me to watch this thing.
All right, so Season 6 came out, I believe, on July 27th. It's been out for a while. So if you're on the fence, you're like, yeah, I should go back and forth. And I'll explain why you should watch it. And, Rob, you can explain why we shouldn't based on what you've seen with Season 5. Now, the reason why I think... The number one reason I think you got to watch this thing is essentially investment. If you've put in 5 seasons worth of time in this, you kind of want to see where this goes. And Season 6 actually moves the show forward in a new direction.
Wait. So Season 6 actually moves the show? Because in Season 5, we only went through 3 days and nothing happened.
Season 5 is very rough. That's a really good reason not to watch Season 5. But Season 6 is over a longer time. Actually, it might not be over a longer time period, but the stories are not as granular. Season 5 resembled The Walking Dead. We were like,
yes.
Are we still doing this today? Is this still today?
Now, let me ask you this. For people out there who couldn't make it through Season 5, can they pick up on Season 6 without having to force themselves through Season 5?
Yes, only if they watch the recap before Season 6 starts. Because there's a recap that...
Yep, there's a recap. Yep.
There's a nice 3-minute recap of Season 5 because you need to know a lot of Season 5 for Season 6 to make sense, and I believe the recap does a pretty good job. You get about 80% of the material there. There's some subtleties you might not understand, but they go to great lengths to make sure that you don't need to watch Season 5. Season 6 has a lot of, like I said, movement. Literally, they have movement, because you have these characters moving from the Litchfield minimum security prison to the maximum security prison based on the events of Season 5. Right. If this is a spoiler, it's too bad.
Sorry.
Season 5.
Yeah, season 5. We knew
season
that.
Season 5, there's a riot that happens like, it's episode 2 and it goes to episode 13. The riot has consequences, and everybody is sent to max, and that is a totally different environment. In some respects, it resembles Season 1 because most of these characters are now in new groups, new conflicts. They're not used to any of this stuff. And because of that, it gives this sense of freshness. Now, this show used to be the Piper Show, and that's been long gone for the past 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah. Now, question. With the new location, do we have some good new characters?
Yes.
Or we still following the same thing?
No. So we have essentially gang wars. Okay? In the Max, we have a bunch of different communities, or, blocks. They're blocks. There's A block, B, C, and D, and they all have issues with each other, and it stems from a long-running feud that we get insights in as the show progresses. There are essentially 2 big bosses in charge of, like, the most dangerous blocks, and there's a lot of explanation as to why they hate each other and what's going on there, and there's kind of a trickle-down effect because they're 2 heads in 2 different divisions. You're seeing how all these organizations work. So in some respects, and I started rewatching Season 1 just today, it reminds me of Season 1 because you have this fish out of water stuff. People don't know what to do to survive. They're doing a lot of, okay, let's explain who these people are, why they're there, and why this is the scenario that we're at. With that, we have new guards, we have new ideas as to how things will go down, and you have some of your old favorite characters. So I think
now, is it darker, grittier, because of the new location?
Okay, I don't think anything is as dark as Season 5. Season 5 was really a downer.
Yeah.
There are times where it gets dark. There's times where there's humor. It's much closer to Season 1. I want to say, like, based on, I watched like 8 episodes of Season 1 today. I just had to run it. And it seemed pretty similar. This uneasiness, this unknown, because by season 4 and 5, because they've been so used to each other, it's kind of like watching characters who are in a school. Like we're watching. Oh, they've been together for 4 or 5 years. They know the dynamics. The dynamics are all shifted here. They're all changed. It's not like one extraordinary event. It's a bunch of different things that happen.
And do we see some of our favorite characters change a lot because of this?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We see a bunch of characters change. There's a lot more movement in this season than season 5. I think season 5 has the least amount of movement because it has the least amount of days, honestly.
Right. The least plot points, yeah.
Yeah, you just have a very tense 13-hour movie. This one is like a television show. You could watch a couple episodes, move it along. I don't remember one being particularly stronger than the others or weaker than the others, but it really does move a lot more than the previous season. So season 5, if that lost you, season 6 is more of a throwback. And this isn't like The Flash where they go, hey, by the way, I'm knocking The Flash for a second episode in a row. Where they hook you in the beginning like, oh, it's still good. And then they go, oh, not really. We're sorry.
Do they set up a good season 7?
They could end it right there at 6.
Okay.
So I don't know what they're going to do with season 7.
Okay.
I have no idea. The ending of 6, you've got a new status quo. And I'm always a big fan of when we talked about with the Luke Cage review of season 2. End of that season, it's totally removed. The end of that season is completely different than the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Same thing with this. This is a very different world, even within season 6. So I think it's worth watching compared to season 5.
Okay.
Is it as good as season 1? I don't know. It's very similar to it. But season 1 definitely had a lot of feeling out to do, and this show already knows its beats. But also you have this feeling out going. So I think that's the strongest reason to watch it, is that this show, in season 6, is reestablishing everything from day one. And because of that, it's almost like when you read a comic book and you get a new creative team. Like, okay, we're going in this direction.
Yeah.
They really went in a kind of a throwback direction, but also a new direction. So I didn't feel like it was a waste. It didn't feel like it was dragging or had this feeling of dread to give one episode to the other.
Yeah.
It's like certain other shows. It didn't feel overpacked. It didn't feel underpacked. It just felt like, you know what? If this show was out week to week, you could watch it. I'd be fine with it. I don't think you have this burning need to watch episode after every episode. I don't know if it's as bingeable as it used to be, but it's a nice movie. Not movie. It's a nice show to watch. Don't watch it at work. Still plenty of nudity.
Yep. Still not safe for work.
Nudity and sex as is the usual with the show. So I don't recommend watching it without like a privacy filter, unless your job is to watch stuff like this for work, which sometimes my job is that. Anyway, so let's go and thank our patrons for supporting our show. These fine folks, Joe, Michelle, Paul, Alan, and Radford, these guys have donated and pledged enough that they have their name in lights. Thank you for supporting our show. We could not do the show without you guys. If you would like to support the show in any which way, go to patreon.com/IAZ, IYAZ, and that will be the place where you can find out how you can support the show monetarily, or maybe just share the link. Just spam your friends in a nice way. Be responsible. You don't want to be a jerk. So thank you guys for supporting the show. And like I was saying in the previous episode, this computer is old AF.
Yes.
And it needs to be
removed.
Yeah. It's basically it's a 2008 Mac Pro. Just think about that. It's before the garbage can. And good gosh, been doing this for a long time. Anyway, let's see. Anything else about season 6 that you'd like to know? Is there any other reasons why that you hated season 5 so much that you're like, okay, I can't go forward?
Well, I told you the reasons. I felt like it was stagnant. It was the characters, because it was such a short period of time, I started getting annoyed with the characters, and it was almost like the pacing was too slow, and I felt, like I said, I had to force myself every single episode to watch. And I did finish it, and I said to myself, they better spend more than 3 days in the next season.
Yeah, I had that same feeling with season 5. Season 5, I think, is an anomaly on the series. So
I like what they tried to do, and I understand what they tried to do, because, like you said, The Walking Dead spends 3 weeks on 4 days. and focuses so much on it. Nothing happens, and then something huge happens.
Yeah.
So I understood why they did it, but it failed.
Season 5 could have been about 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I think that really would have worked for 6 hours. Like,
Yep,
just do
if they
a
did a half
miniseries.
season. Yeah.
Yeah. Or they said the first half of the season is this riot, and then we move on to figure out what happens afterwards.
Yeah.
But this is, criticized season 5, which I think there are a lot of good points to it. It was ambitious. It was adventurous. It was different. But it's like, hey, look, I like the show 24. I liked that show anyway for a while, and that's one freaking day. Yeah. But it's crazy tense, and there's a lot of movement on that show.
Yeah,
but there also was
going to a lot of different locations.
That's true too. So that does have that benefit. So maybe it's hard to do these bottled up shows in a long span. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for us. Any parting words for the audience?
I am going to go watch season 6 of Orange is the New Black.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.